Hello everyone, my name is Chuck. You're watching episode 140 of Let's Plant. And in the last episode, we were in the annual spring competition organized by the Cactus and Succulent Society of Australia in Victoria. It is an event that happens here in Melbourne in the fourth weekend of October every single year. If you've been following my vlog for a while, then you know that I've been thinking of joining the competition for a while. Well, I think I started posting videos about it since last year. And this year, I finally went in. I managed to grab a few prizes. Some got disqualified, but you already knew that. So, yeah, we'll have a look at them today. The competition concluded on Sunday, and I was there on both days. You might have seen me there. Although on Saturday, I was only there for a couple of hours because I was with my family. The kids got bored. We just popped in for a little while just to have a look around, see the competition plants. And I managed to not buy anything there on that day. Yeah, even I am surprised at myself for that. But I guess it was mainly because on one hand, I was holding my camera. And on the other hand, I was holding Zachary, so the whole time I never had the chance to grab plants off of the sellers. So yeah, I guess that's one good strategy if you want to save money. Hold the camera, hold your kid, done. So yeah, I told a few friends about it and they couldn't believe I managed to not buy anything during the show. But I have something to admit, I have to come clean. I actually went to Collector's Corner and Pots Galore afterwards to purchase some plants, like I do every year. And this was because I didn't find much of the Gibiflora hybrids in the show, or at least none of the exotic ones. And I was really itching for a frilly. So I went to Pots Galore. Helen has a lot of them. Hi Helen, you always have my back. So yeah, before I show you the results of the competition, I think I should show you the plants that I bought. Let's go. So here's my loot. I've got 6 plants here. There's 3 large ones here plus this one. I got this from Pots Galore from Helen, and this 2 from Collector's Corner. Now I really had an itching to purchase some frilly plants from some carunculated. No, none of these are carunculated, but some are frilly. And yeah, Pots Galore, you scratched my itch. So this one right here, this is a Neon Breakers. I found one going really cheap because for the past few months when you go around looking for this, you would usually see them for upwards of $25 to $30. And I found one for $12 in Collector's Corner. Unfortunately, this was the only one left on display. I would have bought more. But yeah, lucky find. I think I saw some in the show selling for around 20 or 25. They were probably a bit larger than this, but still, $12, that's so cheap, man. This next one right here, this is a halbingeri. I know I have some halbingeri somewhere in the garden, but since I say somewhere in the garden, that means that I do not know where they are. And I figured I might as well purchase a new pot of it. I really have no idea where it is. I really need to tidy up my stuff. Then this next one of the plants that I got from Pots Galore. This is a Blue Prince, and I used to have a Blue Prince which I also got from Pots Galore before. But I had to buy another one because the blueprints that I have right here has gone terminal, which means that the main stem has turned into a flower stalk, which also means that it will die. But it's still, well, it's a popping machine right now. It's pushing out lots of pops. But yeah, the main plant, the larger plant, would eventually dry out and die. But I still have a lot of time before then because this whole drying out process, it usually takes months. And it started back in winter, so I would expect it to last until maybe autumn. There's a lot of time for all of the offsets, the little babies, to grow, and that would make it a lot easier for me to transfer them or to pluck them off, because once they are big enough, they are more established and they would be able to sustain themselves once I separate them. So that's always good. This is a Takasago no Okina. It was in a pot labeled blue curls, but this is not definitely a blue curls. Just judging from the size of the curls and the density of the leaves. If you have curls or blue curls, you would know that the leaves are much larger and it is less dense. And this is definitely too dense, so it's not it. I think this is a Takasago no Okina because I have one of these and it looks a lot similar. I guess I just have to wait for this flower. There's a flower stalk coming out right here. I just have to wait for it to completely bloom and compare against my other plant. So yeah, but for now, that's what I think it is. Well, actually, all of them, except for the neon breakers, they did not have any labels with them. But luckily, I collect Echeveria, so I'm familiar with them. So yeah, going with this one, it has no label. I kind of think that it's a Berkeley because it looks a lot like my Berkeley over there. But right now, it could be a number of things because a lot of Gibiflora hybrids look alike. So yep, I just have to wait for this to flower. But yeah, my main suspicion, my main guess would be Berkeley. It has lots of pups underneath, so which is really good, especially since it is getting warm. It's already warm now and summer's arriving, so they would grow pretty strong, pretty fast. And yeah, if I place them back in my new planter, in my new shelf, then these pups would be sheltered and protected from the summer heat, and they would be growing happily throughout summer. So they would be growing fast. And finally, this is another Bittersweet. It is not the same color as my other one right now because this has been grown in the shade. You could see because it is leggy, which is all right. I actually picked this one of the leggier ones, because I wanted to Bittersweet do not offset as much, so I want to chop the head off and let it grow some offsets, force it to grow some offsets so I could have more of these plants. And yeah, I'll be doing that in one of the future episodes because, as I said, this growing season I'll be focusing on propagation videos. So right after this series of competition videos, I'll be focusing on plant propagation. Now, let's have a look at my competition plants. Well, the winning ones. So, of all the 24 entries that I brought to the show, I've got 6 that won. So that's a win rate of 25%. And yeah, so this Aeonium arboreum short black, which I have said many times in my previous videos to be my all-time favorite plant. This one first. I guess it shows because it's quite unique compared to the rest of the Aeoniums. This one the arboreum is really common here in Melbourne, and compared to the Zwartkop, the larger arboreum black variety, these ones tend to be more compact. The leaves, the rosettes are more dense, and I really love the patterns. And garnering a second is this xSedeveria maialen, and I guess this has to do with a lot with the colors that it is currently showing, the flowers, the way it is staged. So I guess on average, you know, all of these elements came together and made it second. These other 4 here, they got 3rd place in their respective classes. This is also an Aeonium arboreum, no, Aeonium decorum. This was 1st, this was 3rd. They are in the same class. I was hoping this would flower during the show, but unfortunately it didn't quite make it. Still, it got 3rd, so I'm still happy about that. Then, among the dish gardens over 20 centimeters, this is the 3rd placer. And this one is the little diorama that I made about the Amazon forest fire. So yeah, I guess it was creative enough. And that one right there, that's a Sedum rubrotinctum Aurora. This is the paler variety of the jelly beans. Yeah, I guess the plant and pot combination won it out, because there were a lot of other very beautiful entries in there, and yeah, it edged out many of the others. And finally, that one right there, that's the bento box arrangement, and I guess it was really quirky. And I guess the judge appreciated that. So a little bit of humor there. If you just judge it solely based on plants, those sedums, the sedum, Rhabdosedum bronze, the ones that are trailing, you do not usually want to see their stems, but in this case, this is part of a larger design, and this category, the dish garden category, is not mainly about plants, it is more about the execution of the design, the overall concept and stuff. So that is why it still got points. I was really hoping my yin yang bowl got a ribbon, but I guess they didn't recognize the pattern, or maybe they weren't looking at it properly. I don't know, I could just guess at this point. But still, 6, not too bad, considering I had some disqualified entries. Speaking of disqualified entries, let me go grab them. So, these are the disqualified plants. 6 plants, 1/4, another 1/4 of my entries that could have gotten some places. I entered this 3 in the class 4 Echeveria under 14 centimeters with the belief that they were referring to the plant itself. All of them are below 14 or at 14 centimeters. But I learned too late in the show, no less, that they were actually referring to the inner diameter of the top of the rim of the bowl or of the pot. So I should be actually measuring from this to this. And this is definitely over 14 centimeters because this bowl itself, this is a 17 centimeter pot bowl. I keep interchanging those two terms, but anyway, it is a 17 centimeter and there's no way I could fit it in the 14 category. So all 3 of them are in the same type of bowl, and that means all of them are disqualified. It's the same case for those 3 because the 3 of a kind actually specifically states 3 succulents of a kind under 16 centimeters. If you measure each plant individually, they are under 16 centimeters, but again, the pot is over 16 centimeters, so yeah, I lost out due to a technicality. If there were any entries here that I was really expecting to win, it's this 2, because I really like the plant and pot combination. I really like how they are staged, the presentation. They are all flowering. They look very beautiful, and even in the show, I was overhearing a lot of the viewers. They're saying they were looking a lot of them were looking at this specific bowl. They really liked how, you know, they all look alike, just different colors. They have the same shape, the same markings and stuff. Just the colors are different. You know, just being able to overhear people appreciating this pot, this arrangement right here. I really wished it won something, but I guess at least I know what to do next year now. I need to find smaller pots, and I'm not really a small pot kind of guy, so this would be hard. But luckily, I've got a lot of friends who are into tiny plants, into tiny pots. I guess I could ask for pointers from them, specifically about where they get their pots. They usually get them from op shops or, you know, used shops, from weekend markets, I don't know, maybe other collectors as well. But yeah, it's something that I have to think about for next year. And speaking of next year, I might not bring a lot more of my larger plants, of my large Echeveria, because for one, they're so heavy. Plus pain just lifting them around, moving them around in the show. And another thing is, not a lot of people understand caruncles. Some of them think it is deceased. Well, that's the general comment that I get anyway when I overhear, when I just listen around, you know, just stick around and listen to what people are saying. So they think that, is that a sickness? Is that a disease? Or it looks like it is sick. That's what people say when they see the bumps. I guess this is more of a, this is a symptom that there are not enough Echeveria collectors, or at least not enough Gibriflora collectors out in the world. So I want to change that. But for now, I have to ease them through it. I'm going to, I think for next year, I'm just going to showcase one of my carunculated plants. The rest would be the freely types, because surprisingly, a lot of people really love looking at the freely type of Echeveria. They were admiring some of the freelies that I had in my display. So yeah, I think I should leverage more on that aspect of Echeveria. But yeah, I would still like to have something like this. I guess I just have to find a better container for them. And apart from that, I've been looking around in my collection, to see if I have smaller Echeveria. I definitely do. Or worst case scenario, I could always go with some of the pops, some of the better looking pops in my collection, and just add them into, place them into pair them with a small pot or something. That's something I could do for next year for the under 14 centimeters. This wasn't announced in any of our prior monthly meetings, so we didn't know, or at least I didn't know, that this was a thing. And apparently the SS Mackay medal is given out by the Royal Horticultural Society as an honor for outstanding plant displays. And yeah, I guess they loved my display, the display that I made out on the bench. So yeah, this got me thinking. I think I would like to be more ambitious with my display next year, in the next show. I don't know, I still have to think it through, but I might be doing something more flashy, more showy. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing a tapestry now. Either a tapestry or a poster, or maybe something more grand, something that would catch attention. So watch this space. I will figure, I still have a year to figure it out, but yeah, it would be very interesting. If you have any suggestions for a display that I could do, let me know in the comments, or yeah, we'll just see what happens. Meno. So yeah, these are the plants that brought some honor into my garden, and I'm really happy that people appreciated my plants. I would definitely do a lot better next year, and yeah, I think I am better armed for next year. Part of me wants to just grab some different plants out in the garden, because although I'm an Echeveria collector, I actually have different types of succulents out. Let me show you. Long-time viewers would probably remember this. I have a bunch of aloes, gasteria, haworthia, gaster aloes, and all sorts of bits and bobs here. Some sempervivums. Yeah, bunch of stuff. And maybe I could bring them to next year's show, just to be more present in more categories. And if I am not going to bring my larger Echeveria, or at least I'm just going to bring one of the large ones, that means I will have more space in the booth for more plants, especially if they are only this size. So this is definitely something that I could bring. I'm even tempted to bring one of my mom-in-law's hanging planters. So she has a bunch of baskets here. There's more there, and even more on the other side. So this might be something that I could bring to the show next year, or at least I should consider bringing them. So those are my plants, and I might have to do a bit of change for next year, just to have better chances of winning. Although again, as I keep saying, winning is not my primary goal. It's more of just showing off my Echeveria. I really love that people love my agavoides platter here. Wait, I think I label this agavoideville. Yeah, so people love my agavoides display, and despite it being disqualified in that class, still a lot of people were looking at it. So I really love how it turned out. And yeah, I just want more people to start collecting Echeveria. That way sellers would be selling a lot more Echeveria. There's a lot of Echeveria now, but I still find it pretty niche, or at least collectors who specialize in Echeveria like me are pretty niche. So I want to expand that. Now, I left a bunch of business cards in my display, and some of you might be new to this channel, so hi. And if you like what you see, make sure to subscribe to my channel, like or dislike this video depending on what you think. Well, although in this episode I only showed you the plants, my winning plants, I actually recorded a lot of footage of the rest of the entries in the competition. So I'll be slowly working on that video. I'll be putting it out, if not this weekend, probably sometime next week, because it takes a lot of time to go through all of them, put the proper labels and stuff. But yeah, it will be coming out soon. In the next episodes, it would be back to normal. We are done with the competition phase of the storyline, and we would be getting back into propagation. So yeah, spring is here. It's propagating time. Of course, while doing all of my propagation, I would be restocking my plant shop. I'll be working on separating out the pops that I harvested from my garden, and generally just tidy up this whole thing, because my plants are still mixed in with some of my for sale plants, and I still have to work on updating my website. A lot of you are waiting for that. So yeah, so if you're looking to support my vlog, one way is by purchasing plants in my plant shop. 100% of the proceeds will go to me. No, just kidding. Let's just say it goes into the Cerriscapades fund, which should fund my, well, technically it is funding my addiction. But no, seriously, any help would be appreciated, because this allows me to put a lot more effort, a lot more resources into making my videos, especially when I work on special videos such as my nursery trips or my comparison videos or even my research. So you know, these things takes a lot of time and effort and resource. So it would be nice having your support. You could either purchase some plants from my plant shop, which I would be updating really soon, or being one of my patrons on Patreon. The link would be down below. So yeah, but if you can't help financially, that's perfectly fine. You could still help by spreading the word about my channel, about Cerriscapades, letting everyone, all of your friends, or at least those who are into succulents, know about my channel. I would really appreciate it. So yeah, I'll see you in the next episodes. Bye.